Okay, so listen, let's talk about the round of 16 action that we got coming up, because we kick off with two past winners, Real Madrid at RB Leipzig, Micah's Manchester City at Copenhagen. Let's talk about favourites to win this competition, because Micah, your Manchester City, they are always in and about, and there they are, top of the list. Manchester City, favourites to win the Champions League title, favourites to repeat. Is it going to happen?
Well, it's always tough. I mean, they are favourites because probably their squad. They've got a great manager. I think with Man City last year when they won it, it was a massive weight off their shoulders. Thierry's been in that situation where they had too much pressure at times and almost like try too hard. This season they could play with a little bit more freedom. I think because the likes of Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne are back in the side.
And fresh.
And Haaland scored 2 goals against Everton today. So if we're looking to the business end of the season, I think Man City, of course, would be my favourites and a lot of people's favourites too.
Pep Guardiola and Man City always manage to get, but you lose David Silva, you lose Vincent Kompany, you lose Aguero, and Micah Richards.
Oh!
But that wasn't on the Pep.
Okay.
That wasn't on the Pep.
Imagine.
But what I'm trying to say is, you don't remember those guys. I'm not being bad with them. I'm just saying that now is the era of Kevin De Bruyne. They're still competing. Mm-hmm. Normally, when you lose this type of players, you have 2 to 3 years where you disappear.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They just don't. Pep always try to find the right rotation, to go and get the likes of Nathan Ake, the likes of Guardiola, and guys before Akanji.
Yes.
You know, we're not talking about defenders that everyone wanted. He went to get them, made them better, and they perform every year. And usually when you lose big guns, you always struggle. Man City do not struggle. That's impressive.
You mentioned Real Madrid and the number of times they've won it,
Yeah.
14-time champions, obviously. They lost in the semi-final to Manchester City last season. Jude Bellingham balling at Real Madrid. Your boy.
When you talk about Jude, it gets me happy. And it's not just because he's scoring a lot of goals and you're playing extremely well. It's his mentality. He's got that elite mentality. A lot of people go abroad at a young age. He went to Dortmund, did his thing there, goes to Real Madrid, and he stepped up with all the pressure. I talked to Thierry on the people who are paid in Spain, and the pressure over there is supposed to be ridiculous. So to him to deal with that and still put in these performances week after week and be level-headed at the same time, it's just a joy to see. He's a true young superstar. He really is.
28 games for Real Madrid in all comps, involved in 26 goals. And the guy is doing it week in, week out. It is just outstanding the way he's doing it, the way he's performing. You have also to give a lot of credit to Ancelotti with the tactic. That 4-3-1-2 suits him very well. Scoring goals, assists, doing that at Real Madrid. Hopefully he can do it for a very long time, but what he's doing right now is absolutely amazing.
So that's our Tuesday action. Wednesday, we've got PSG and Bayern Munich both in action. PSG against Real Sociedad. That PSG, Kylian Mbappé, obviously huge pressure on him. Question marks over PSG's form, though.
They're still top of the league in France. You know, when Kylian doesn't score a goal in one game or two, people always question him. I don't know why they still question this guy in terms of what he can do and how he can perform. Yes, they struggle in the Champions League, but when you look at the games, you know, they should have battered Newcastle at home. They didn't. They should have won that game easily in Dortmund. They squeezed it through at the end. Yes, they finished second. Yes, they lost against Milan. Yes, they lost against Newcastle heavily. But at the end of the day, they're still there. They lost some great players, as we all know. You know, Neymar left, Messi left. But what they want is to win the Champions League. Can they do it before what looks like the last season of Kylian at Paris Saint-Germain? I just think there is always a story with Paris Saint-Germain, especially in the French league. When they lose a game, if they don't perform for 1 hour, people always say that they're not performing. So we're going to have to wait and see. I think it's going to be a tricky tie against Sociedad, that top their group, a difficult group. So let's see what's going to happen. But when you have Kylian in your team, especially the way he played against Dortmund, he was everywhere. His attitude was magnificent.
Bayern away to Lazio in their game on the Wednesday. Harry Kane, of course, we saw Bayern as second in that list of favourites or odds-on favourites to win the title. Could Harry Kane go and do it? It'd be a fairy tale story if he did.
Yeah, I mean, we know how much or how good Harry Kane is. Obviously, at Spurs and what he did at the Premier League, he decided to leave and go to Bayern. He's obviously gone there for trophies. This is probably the best chance he's going to win a trophy. Obviously, they normally win the league in the Bundesliga, but the Champions League, Bayern always, for me, have a chance just because of the players that they have. Big club, big mentality, and if they get over this leg and they get round to the next side and the draw's right for them, I just believe, I won't want to say dark horses because Thierry corrected on me but you know, not a lot of people are talking about Bayern, but the quality they have with Kane and then the wingers, the pace on the wings, they're going to cause teams a lot of problems.
And now, my friends, it is time for the moment that you've all been waiting for. That's right, Terry's thoughts on his beloved Arsenal and how they're going to fare in this game against Porto that you guys have coming up, round of 16. What do you think?
Once again, I don't think it's going to be an easy game at that stage of the season, especially away from home. The first leg, we need to start well and bring something back to the Emirates. I think we can do something at the Emirates, that's for sure, but what are you going to bring back from that game in Portugal? Having said that, the team is doing well in the league, we all know that. Champions League is a different ball game, you know, especially when you enter the knockout stages. They have some experience, some players do have some experience, with the likes of Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus. Some of those guys in the team obviously did not play too many games in the Champions League. Can we be the surprise? It depends of the path and what's
side of the bracket.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, and which side you're going to be, who you're going to play, but anything can happen. So
that game is not this coming week, it's the week after, right? And that week we also have another incredible showdown, which is the one between the Serie A champions Napoli and the La Liga greats Barcelona. It's so hard to see you through all my hair, excuse me. And the La Liga greats Barcelona. Xavi, of course, has already announced his decision that he is going to be leaving the club. So can we start there? Can we talk about that? Probably, sorry, Micah, I know it just makes sense to get your thoughts on Xavi, I think, yeah, and that decision. Did it take you by surprise?
No, it didn't. Like the one of Klopp, like the one of Pep when he also took a sabbatical year. I mean, Xavi is not taking a sabbatical year, he's saying that he's stopping. The pressure that managers are under, it's second to none. You know, I just think that what Xavi first and foremost did at Barcelona is magnificent, because I don't know if you guys remember what he had to endure when he arrived and all the turmoil inside, and he had to build a team. Yes, he got Lewandowski, but a lot of youngsters also came through playing for him and under him, and he has done a tremendous job. I said it before, Pep took a sabbatical year also, so it's tough, and I thought about the manager and I was like, yes, have a rest, enjoy your family, and come back stronger mentally.
Why would anybody want to be a coach, huh?
I know, yeah. But you was in that similar situation during COVID, and you was away from your family. What was it actually like? You know, you can sympathise with these managers and their decisions.
Well, all coaches, I think, when you coach through COVID, it was very difficult. But when you let's imagine this: Pep was at Barcelona, took a sabbatical year. Klopp is at Liverpool, is stopping. Xavi is at Barcelona, is also stopping. 3 great clubs. That's a dream job normally, and they're stopping. That tells you a story. The pressure, everybody has a voice, social media and whatnot. It is tough to be a manager, like I said to you, and no one cares about you. So you're going to have to take care of yourself at one point. Seeing your family is also important. Not only who's going to start, we need to win and all of that. I understand that it's very nice for fans and everybody involved, journalists. But do not think only about yourself and thinking that the Premier League will miss club, that Liverpool will miss club. We know that, and that's true. But he was missing his family, he was missing his own time, he was missing his sanity. So good for him. When I got the news, I was like, good for you.
Wow. Amen. Can we give a special shout out to whoever at CBS came up with the idea of an outside set? I am really enjoying myself out here in the cold.